Um, Welcome to the Board of County Commissioners. Today we will be having an executive session. It is Wednesday, January 12th, 2022. It is 8:04 a.m. This meeting is currently being live streamed on Thurston County YouTube channel, but the streaming will stop once our executive session starts. Today I'm Carolina Mejia, Chair of the Board. I am joined by Vice Chair Ty Menser, who's via Zoom. To my left is Commissioner Gary Edwards. To his left is our County Manager, Ramiro Chavez. On Zoom, we are joined by Assistant County Manager Robin Campbell, as well as Public Works Director Jennifer Walker, as well as other staff. I see the County Engineer. No, I do not. Sorry. I thought I did. Okay, this executive session, it's per RCW 42.30.110 to review negotiations on the performance of publicly bid contracts when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of increased costs. Solid waste contracts. Commissioner's action may follow. So with
Madam Chair?
Yes, sir.
I have a question while we're in public session.
Yes, sir.
Prior to going into executive session, please.
Okay, go ahead.
Last night, towards the end of the day, I believe the county manager thought possibly I was going to do this as a remote meeting. And he gave me this book and said, well, here's the material you'll need for tomorrow. And, but then he said, don't look at it. Don't look at the book. And I was questioning, what do you mean don't look at it? Well, we need to protect the integrity of our executive session. And I'm not always crazy about executive sessions anyway, but I realize in certain situations we need to have them. But my question is, I haven't opened it up yet because we haven't went into executive session, and I do want to protect the integrity of the executive session process. But I need an answer from our legal counsel why it is that we as the elected officials are not, I don't know, allowed to look at the material we're going to have today. And my question is, are my seatmates in that same situation and staff? Who's privy to this book and the material in it? So Rick, do you have an answer for me on that? On the legalities here?
Well, I can provide you an answer, but the point of executive session is to not give legal advice on the record. So I can provide that in memorandum form, but I would prefer not to do that on the record, just because that's the whole idea of an executive session.
Okay. I'm not asking for any information that would be sensitive. I guess I'll follow up with, do staff people here know what's in this book?
Yes, they prepared it for you.
And to my seatmates, did you get a chance to look at this, or were you told the same thing that I was? Don't look at the book until we get into the executive session. And I was going to take it home, and I thought about maybe, well, no, I'll come back in because I've got a meeting this afternoon as well. So I just left it with the county manager. I didn't think much about it. I got to thinking about it, and information is, knowledge and information. I mean, that's the power. And we are the ones that are I say the three commissioners, are going to be making some decisions. So I just would like to know, did my seatmates get a chance to review this ahead of time? Would that be a normal course of business? Because I hate to go into any kind of a meeting and not be informed. So I'll make a decision based on my answers, I guess. So.
Well, I was given the binder last night too, and told the same thing. I have not cracked it open just because I want to protect the integrity of an executive session. And so I just figured that once we got into executive session, staff would be walking us through it. And so that's why I didn't open it. Commissioner Menzer?
I took it as a suggestion just for a matter of process, but it didn't really matter. I got it as I walked out the door, and I was in meetings until after 9. I wouldn't have had time to look at it anyway. Very often we get materials that aren't, we don't get them handed to us till we walk in the boardroom door. What I like about being a commissioner versus being a lawyer is that 99% of the time, if we don't have enough time or information, we just demand more. And so it didn't bother me. I'm trying to explain. It didn't really bother me because many times we walk in and the materials have just been prepared, and the commissioners then take time to think about it and dive into it deeper later. Sometimes a staff overview is, especially with contracts, extremely helpful to have kind of someone to guide you through it. If I just try to crack open a 70-page contract, and I have legal training, but it's not always very fruitful because I don't know what to look for. It's usually a waste of time. So I would probably have waited anyway for this kind of overview.
Yeah, but I as well didn't look at it. But I guess my question is now, why would the elected officials that are supposed to be making a decision at some point in time in relation to this particular information that we have now, why would we not want to be as knowledgeable as we possibly can? So I'm told staff put it together. They're knowledgeable. They know everything about it. Oftentimes, we will come into a meeting and, like Commissioner Menzer said, that we won't have had chances to review the material. I've been opposed to that philosophy of staff retaining material ever since I've been here as a commissioner. Every other executive board that I've been on, and when I talk to other jurisdictions, they get their material well ahead of time so they can at least review it. So Rick, I guess if you can't give me an answer outside of executive session, I guess we'll have to go into executive session and see. But I am very concerned about conducting any business that we do as public officials outside of public scrutiny. So I'm looking forward to your answer, sir. And that's where I'm
Well,
at.
The short answer is that if the materials are disseminated by the party, since ultimately you're the ones, not staff, who are making decisions on the contract and ultimately ratifying the contract, the process, we want to guarantee that everything we do is above board and there's no chance for the process being corrupted prior to the executive session occurring. And by corrupted, I mean any information gleaned and shared with any other party. That's not specific to any commissioner. That's just for the purposes of ensuring, in the case of some type of dispute down the road, that this has not happened. That's my short answer.
Okay, I don't know that I agree with it, but at least it's the answer. I mean, it was an answer to cover my concerns. That's good. I mean, I'm fine with it, sir.
Okay, nobody has to follow my legal advice. It's just my responsibility to give it.
Yeah.
Okay, with that, let's go into executive session. And how long?
2 hours.
Okay, so we'll be here for 2 hours until 10?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll be here until 10.
Maybe taking a break in between somewhere there.
Maybe, yeah, can we take a break?
All depends, yeah.
Hopefully taking a break in between then. Okay, with that, we're going to executive session. And this is per RCW 42.30.110 II to review negotiations on the performance of publicly bid contracts when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause the likelihood of increased costs, solid waste contracts, and commissioners' actions may follow. With that,